We have yet because we're joined by
Oh
the
shit!
man himself,
Huge.
Captain, Captain.
They got FNS to come on the desk.
Of course, FNS.
That's
joining
amazing.
us here today. Congratulations, man. How
Let's
you feeling?
go.
Good. Satisfied with the win for sure, but I think we should have been able to close it out on Haven. So
Okay.
It's a little disappointing that we didn't, but yeah, definitely back to the drawing board on that map.
So obviously, with the way that this split has gone, it's been grueling. It's been a long process, but I really do want to understand the players' perspective because I try and talk to you guys and find out how you guys are doing and feeling. Yeah. How difficult has this whole thing been? Because I know that you guys have been labbing and working every single freaking day.
It's stressful, especially when you start 1 and 3. It's very stressful, but I think the team has done a pretty good job of staying together, understanding that we need to fix our mistakes, going into the server, just making sure we're correcting the right things, and also not overcomplicating things.
For sure.
And obviously, we had a little bit of a role fiasco at the first couple of weeks, so just went back to our comfort zone, made sure that even if I'm lurking, I'm still gonna be able to call, and just had enough faith in everybody else that they'll be able to pick up the slack. So. Yeah, so far so good.
That's good.
Yeah, and with that practice and like preparation, what did you think facing the two comps that Fury brought out today? Because it was two kind of different ones than what a lot of other people have answered. The double duels on Bind and then going back to their Harbor Viper comp on Haven, which no one else is really running.
I mean, as soon as they let through Bind and Haven, we kind of assumed that it was going to be weird comps because I don't think they would have been able to beat us on a regular one. So we assumed that much, but yeah, I think their pace on Bind definitely caught us off guard early on. Like they literally just ran up short on the first gun round. We're just like, oh, okay. And so that consistently happens. And then when both their duelists are also hitting all their shots, I think we both started like 8 and something. So that makes it difficult as well. But yeah, luckily for us on T side, we were able to come back, and then going into the next map, it was very similar, like you said, a weird comp with Harbor and Viper, but we kind of always knew where they were going regardless. We almost always had the correct stack, but we lost a couple of bad sight rounds. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like energy is kind of peaking.
On defense, you guys have like a
they're peaking at a really good time before playoffs right now.
Just give me 3 or give me 2 and I got us on attack. What's going through your head when you guys are down that many rounds? And a lot of it relies on you having a lights out calling half, and you're in that position where your entire team is trusting you. Like, what's going through your head in that moment?
We're just so comfortable specifically on Bind attack. So regardless of what happens on defense, we know as long as we are able to get that pistol or maybe eco them, we can do a pretty good job. And luckily for us, we were able to get that pistol and the bonus, I think, because Artist 2v1'd on the bonus, so that was massive as well. But in general, they just kept giving us a lot of map control. And I think when teams give me as a caller that much map control, they're gonna lose. So it was very easy for me to then manipulate rotations just because I have U-Haul, I have hookah, I have long, I have bathrooms. So yeah, they just gave us too much space.
Once you got into those post ones in the late rounds, so I think one thing that it seemed like you guys were doing a really good job at, and that you always do a really good job at, is kind of like in those late round situations where a lot of other teams might lean into the chaos, kind of taking a pause, slowing things down for a second, and then coming out with a new idea. How did you manage to like keep everyone on the same page in those situations where I think a lot of other teams, even at this level, can sometimes let that chaos get the better of them?
I think players like Victor and Crashies go underrated in that situation. I think they do a very good job of just letting me have my time. And I think Artist, same thing, Sam thing, same thing. And I think for Artist and Sam, it was a little bit more of a learning curve. That's how I like to call. I just need time. And for them, they just try to stay alive and make sure that they're holding, you know what I mean? And so I think that time is what's most valuable to me, because I'm then able to make a correct decision. Because when you hold and you don't do anything, for example, in a round on Bind when I was in my Viper ult for like ever, I kind of knew that they were confused about what we were doing. We could TP, we can't TP, and then so I just put the ult down. But I was able to call all of that in my Viper ult because my teammates gave me the time.
Speaking of your teammates, one thing I've noticed just watching like the player cams is whenever like a hype round happens, you obviously hear Sam like yelling and getting hype, but always the camera cuts to you, and then you're just like, dead, just focused. Not dead, just super focused. And I'm like, I really felt that because I'm calling and I just really want to
I love this interview.
I'm like, I'm already thinking on what to do next. Is that kind of similar for you? You kind of let Sam like take that lead on the hype because you're just trying to get that next thought, that next call out?
But I also just don't feel anything.
Okay. So it's an emotional issue.
Yeah,
then.
honestly, it is. I don't like go like, unless someone wins a really big clutch round, then you'll see me like kind of go crazy. But when it comes to just like if we're winning rounds over and over again and it's like not close, it's very rare that I'll be like, yes, nice, or whatever. I just don't have it in me, I don't think.
What Walk us through this experience, because obviously, you've been playing for such a long time now. But now that you guys are all together, you've been putting in this work week in and week out. This has been a job. You guys have been at it each and every day. What have you learned from this experience to help you not just grow as a player, but also as a person?
I mean,
Long stare,
live with roommates. That's a first. It's been a while since I had to live with roommates.
That'll teach you.
Yeah, so that's more of an outside, like, in life situation. But when in game, I think it's just about giving each other time to improve and not really playing the blame game, not feeding into the ego of the community where they're like, oh, cut this guy.
So when you guys were losing, was it like?
I mean, it's tough.
Yeah.
But there's nothing. We're trying to fix it, and so I think literally as soon as we sat down after the C9 game, in the practice room, I was just like, I think we just need to go back to our regular comps and just call it a day.
Damn.
And then see what happens afterwards. I think we spent a little bit too much time trying to experiment with people that don't have enough chemistry with us. For example, Artis and Sam.
Yeah.
So I think when we went back to our comforts, it just helped everybody play their own game. And then I think that helped our chemistry a little bit, grow a little bit.
Fair.
Yeah, and it seems like now you guys are fully hitting the form that we'd expect of you, and that I'm sure you guys have expected of yourselves.
God, FNS just said that the community was right.
Loud, which is
dangerous.
the team that you played every event
dangerous.
Constantly, every damn game last year, and now it's NRG playing them for the first time since lock-in. What's your expectations for that one? Because it's going to be a pretty pivotal match. You have to win one of these next two to make playoffs.
We just have to win. I just think it doesn't even matter. We have to win both, in my opinion. Just make it so there's no chance that we don't qualify. We have to give everything we have for Loud. Obviously, I think there's 7-0 now.
Yeah, flawless.
So yeah, it's definitely going to be tough. It always is with them, but there's no sense of intimidation just because we've played them for so long. We're so familiar. So it's just both teams respect each other. I think it'll be a good game for sure.
All right, so ready to have some fun?
Oh boy.
Look, hey, look, man, the production team here at VCT, right? They live and breathe Valorant all the time.
NRG right here,
so
4-3. They have Loud and
they know the
EG.
game inside and out. They know the strats. They know everything. So with the launch of Premier,
Telling
they
that EG
figured,
game is
why
going to be
not
so
try
big.
to replicate some
They
of
could be
the
Loud though.
amazing strategy. Week 6, coming to a close. Here are the standings, and Loud have officially clinched top 2, which that is going to be quite interesting to see how that plays off for the playoffs. And then, of course, Furia is going to be knocked out of the top 2 contention. Crew,
this is so close,
as you can see, highlighted by red, will not be able to make it to playoffs. And NRG, with that win, they're in 4th place, baby. How's that feel, man?
I mean, it's still not enough, but
I love it.
We'll take the 3 wins.
I feel like every time I talk to you, I'm like, hey, man, how you doing? You always say, it's not enough, bro. It's just not enough.
It goes back to rule number 2, have no fun.
Yeah, literally. But also, I just think we're really, really disappointing in terms of closing out games early on in the season, right?
Yeah.
IBR, we were 12-10 up last map, and we couldn't close. So I think we have some
Blissful? I kind of was thinking the same thing. Like,
that goes
what?
away.
Yeah, well, here are the
What do you
matches that
think
we're gonna
those
be
guys
checking
are
out next
feeling
week. We
right
have
now?
Furia versus 100 Thieves, and then it's going to be the Evil Geniuses taking on MIBR to open up the week for VCT Americas. It's going to be quite exciting. And what match are you looking forward to, Mimi?
For the first day, I think Furia 100 Thieves I'm looking forward to. Furia's looking pretty solid. 100 Thieves had that really rough 2 games in a row where they just got stomped out. So I'm wondering if they're going to be able to rebound or if that's just going to kind of be the form for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's fair. And Mel, I know we won't have you here next week, Saj, but you were awesome. What's next for you? Where should we be seeing you in VCT?
I mean, I fly back home tonight. I'm back to practice tomorrow, buddy.
Okay.
So.
Buddy.
All right.
She dropped the buddy.
FNS man, the